Yo, what is going on, y'all? V-Rob here. Today, what we got going on, this is just a new setup, by the way. I'm testing it out. I had a new desk setup over here. We still have the desktop over there, but I'm just trying to figure out how I want to record for this upcoming NBA season. But this is what the setup is looking like as of right now, guys. But today, what we got going on, I'll be giving you guys my history of music. Which artists do I like? What are my favorite albums of all time? My favorite projects so far this year. This has been a video that I've been wanting to do on this channel for literally over a year. I just haven't found a perfect timing to do it. I didn't want to do it during the NBA season. I wanted to do it sometime during the summer. So with like 4 days left of summer, we finally got to it. But without further ado, y'all, here is my style of music. So to start things off, guys, we're going to go back to 2013. 2013, I was in the 5th grade. And to be honest with you guys, I was not the definition of a cool kid.
No, you ain't.
Before the end of 5th grade, so like early 2013, I would go home, I would turn on the PS3, play Lego Star Wars or Lego Indiana Jones, NBA 2K13, that's about it. My earlier years, like in 1st to 3rd grade, I was obsessed with Toy Story, I was obsessed with The Lion King, I was obsessed with Jurassic Park. I had so many different phases throughout my life, but I was like a nerd for so many different things, y'all. Up until that point, I quit football after 2 weeks.
You what?
I was a decent baseball player. I couldn't hit for anything. I was a pretty good catcher, though. I played golf, but I was just in and out of sports. So I didn't start my basketball trend until about 6th or 7th grade. But end of 2013, or 5th grade, started 2013. Started from the Bottom, comes out by Drake. All of my friends went insane about that song. We didn't know like what half the lyrics meant, but we thought the coolest music video ever was Drake dancing in the snow next to that car right next to him. Like that was, we thought as 5th graders, that was the coolest thing ever. Like better than any Picasso painting. Like that was the most articulate thing we have ever seen. So then we go into the summer of 2013. Summer of 2013 is really also when my love for the culture just started becoming in the form, and I really started growing out of my, box that I was in that I really didn't go out that much or whatnot, and I was like a nerd for anything. Still kind of am for a lot of things, but Acid Rap comes out in April by Chance the Rapper. Juice, up until, or from that point on, still to this day, is still in my SoundCloud playlist, y'all. Summer comes around June. Kanye's on SNL, rocking the Easy Nike Red Octobers. Fam, that is one of the most inspirational, influential shoes of all time. I remember, I'll talk about this when we get into 6th grade, so 2013 to 14. All of my friends wanted Yeezy-inspired shoes. They wanted the all-red Roshis that were in style at the time. Everyone had a pair of Roshi ones. Everyone wanted a red pair of shoes because of the Red Octobers. Everyone wanted a pair of Nikes with their Elite socks. So that summer, Born Sinner and Yeezus comes out. Later that summer in September, Nothing Was the Same comes out, Drake's album. So my love for music and for the culture just really started beginning at that time. I remember at the start of the 6th grade year, my friend Preston, he copped a pair of LeBron 11s. It was the Akron versus Miami colorway. I think it was the first pair that they dropped. And I was obsessed with them. I thought he had like a size too big or whatnot. But I thought they were the coolest shoes ever. I wanted a pair so bad. And that's when Instagram really started getting traction and really started to pick up its pace. And so all my friends had Instagram accounts. We started following all these sneaker shoe accounts. We saw all the custom LeBron 11, Yeezy inspired. We saw all the Air Maxes Yeezy inspired. We saw all of the Roshi runs that were inspired by all these TV shows and had the gold laces. Everyone wanted a pair of Nike IDs. I remember 6th grade year, I had a pair of Air Maxes, Hyper Dunks, and this like Nike SB shoe that I wore a lot. It was embarrassing. 7th grade, we moved to Houston, Texas, y'all. This was my first time I got introduced to Travis Scott. This was the same year, days before Rodeo dropped. And this is from my viewpoint, yo. In 2014, not a lot of people knew about Travis Scott nationally. But in Houston, y'all, he was like a freaking god. I remember my good friend Salvador, who I still talk to, he introduced me to Days Before Rodeo. They thought that was literally the best mixtape of all time, y'all. It's still one of the best of all time. But that year I really started growing a love for sneakers once again. I feel, like I said, my love for shoes and fashion and music all kind of came together, and my love for culture in general at where I am at this point has really just all come into fruition together. I got a pair of these Nike Air Jordans. This, like, it wasn't like a retro Jordan, it was one of those weird, like, Air Jordan 3 inspired shoes. It was like pink and white. It was so weird, yo. It was bulky. It was very uncomfortable. I wore that on the first day of school. Didn't like it. Waited till the LeBron 12 or the Kyrie ones came out. That was my first signature basketball shoe that I ever copped. I got the original pair of the Kyrie ones. I think I might still wait. Okay, y'all. So we got them. And if you think you have a small shoe or a small foot, y'all, this was in the 7th grade. I wore a size 5 youth, y'all. This is the Kyrie one. This is my first signature basketball shoe that I ever bought. I wore this to school a lot, guys. This is my favorite shoe that I had up to date. And obviously Kyrie playing with LeBron at that time. Kyrie is and still was and still is one of my favorite players in the league. But I was so hyped to get these, you guys. I remember when kick was a huge thing back in 2014. I actually I took a picture of these on feet, and that was my profile picture, just a pair of my Kyries on feet. I was obsessed with these. Then the next pair of shoes I got that year were the LeBron 12 lows that came out closer to the playoffs, like April or May. I got the pair of... Anyway, why do you guys care about this? Anyways, guys, I moved back to Cincinnati, Ohio after just a year in Houston in mid-2015 in the summer. And since then, guys, my love for music has just grown by so much. I remember in 8th grade, me and my good friend Tyler, 2016 was like the year of music in general, y'all. Any albums, Schoolboy Q's album, Chance's album, Coloring Book, Drake's album, Views, Life of Pablo, Future's album, I forget the name of it, but there were so many iconic albums that year, y'all. Same with Lil Uzi, dropped an album that year. 2016, the summer especially, was like the year, y'all. And that's really when I think I become like a huge, true fan, diehard of just music in general. So now we're up to this point, guys, and I would say my top 5 most listened to artists right now. We're gonna start with number 5 at Drake. Drake, obviously, like I said, he really introduced me into the hip-hop world, and I would tell you guys that my personal favorite albums of his are Nothing Was the Same, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, which is technically a mixtape, but... And I'm going to throw in Take Care just because a lot of people put it as his best album in his discography. Personally, I think Nothing Was the Same, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late is more enjoyable for me. But, you know, I think Drake, as of late, has really lacked in a lot of, I would say, effort. I feel like his bars aren't as good as they used to be back when he was really grinding, like in the Thank You Later days and the Take Care days. I feel at this point he just loves being number 1 on streams. I mean, if he drops any single, yo, he's gonna go to number 1 on Apple Music, Spotify easily, no matter how good or bad it is. I mean, you look at Scorpion. Scorpion did not reach expectations at all. And it was still the most streamed album that year by far last year. So that's where I'm at with Drake. Still got a hella respect for him. Number 4, we have Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was such a casual fan of his until this year. So I'm not going to stand here and act like I was a fan of his since Goblin or whatnot. But favorite project, Igor. Igor was amazing. I think one thing that I respect the most about Tyler, the Creator is how much he's willing to experiment. Even with Flower Boy, it was really like his grow-up stage in my opinion. And how versatile he is in trying new soundscapes, trying new topics. I mean, Igor was all about, you know, his experiences with heartbreak and relationships and whatnot. Big fan of Tyler, the Creator, yo. And I thought Igor, in my opinion, has been album of the year up to this point, which isn't saying that much in 2019, but... Number 3, we got my boy who's following me on Twitter now. Shout out to G-Force all the time. We have Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper. Favorite projects of his, yo, Coloring Book and Acid Rap. Gonna be honest with you guys, a big day. I have mixed feelings about it, y'all. I've listened to it about 8 or 9 times. Sometimes I enjoyed it. Sometimes I thought it could have done a lot better. Overall, I really like about 7 to 10 songs in the project as a whole. I really like how he is as a family person, how much he emphasizes family in his music. But Favorite albums, like I said, are projects. Coloring Book, there is no skips on that project. Coloring Book is one of my favorite albums of all time. Acid Rap, one of the best mixtapes. Like I said, Juice has been an anthem for me from the start. So like the past 5-6 years, yo. Number 2 for me is Kid Cudi. Favorite projects of his, Man on the Moon, Man on the Moon 2. If I had to pick one specifically, I think it'd be Man on the Moon. And I actually have his vinyl right here. I feel Man on the Moon is one of the most important albums in hip-hop history. You look at so many artists in the landscape of hip-hop, I could guarantee you guys some of the most iconic artists right now have been hella inspired by this album alone, yo. Kid Cudi obviously has saved hundreds of thousands of people's or kids' lives because of his music. I think what I enjoy about him the most is how vulnerable he makes himself and how much he's willing to tell his story to shape someone else's. I remember one of my favorite Drake lines is, I told my story and made his story, like history or his story. So I think Kid Cudi being as vulnerable as he is, and his history with overdosing, with addiction, with depression, and putting that into his art and relating to so many kids out there, such a difference maker, y'all. And I love Kid Cudi. I'm so excited for his new album, Intergalactic, next year. But yeah, he's definitely number 2 for the most listened for me. And number 1, as you guys obviously know, you guys see it back there, Kanye West. If you guys watch this channel at all, you guys know he's my favorite artist by far. What I like about Kanye the most is how versatile each project is. Each project has its own soundscape. Each project has its own subjects. I mean, if you listen to The College Dropout and then you listen to Yeezus, if you just listen to the instrumentals, it sounds like there's no way that could be from the same artist. My opinion, favorite albums of his, Graduation will be my favorite music album of all time, probably to the day I die. I think, I didn't mean for the touch the sky floating in there, but for me, Graduation was really stronger for me was my anthem 1st through 3rd grade, so 2007 to about 2009. I was really like a fan that just loved like popular music, and I thought Stronger was like the greatest song of all time. Still one of my all-time favorites, but favorite projects from Kanye, Graduation, Life of Pablo, and if I had to make a third, it'd either be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is his best album in my opinion. I think it's one of the best hip-hop projects of all time, maybe the best, or The College Dropout. I think favorites and best sometimes gets confused. Like, I obviously know Graduation is not one of his, his best project of all time. I know there are a lot better storylines and narratives to each of his later albums, like Yeezus, Pablo, even Ye. But for me, Graduation will always have a personal connection for me. And I lived close to Chicago at the time, saw Kanye grow up, from the College Dropout days to Late Registration to Graduation to where he is at this point, yo. So favorite project for 2019, yo, I would say Igor. This has been a pretty disappointing 2019, but I told a lot of my friends after going off of 2018, we got projects from literally every single artist, especially in the summer, guys. I mean, we're still waiting for a Rihanna album later this year in 2019, but looking at where the landscape was, everyone dropped a project last year, it seemed. I just wasn't expecting too much in 2019. We haven't heard any rumors about Frank Ocean dropping an album. There's still a possibility Big Sean could be dropping one real soon. He just dropped a single a couple weeks ago. But favorite project of 2018, definitely Kids See Ghosts. Kanye and Cudi, 2 favorite artists. I mean, it's just that simple. But I think as a whole, guys, favorite music in general, definitely hip-hop. I've been liking gospel music as of late. Fred Hammond makes some really great music, and I've been a big fan of Kanye's Sunday service that he's been doing since January this year. Alternative, I'm a big fan of. Sad boy music, just when I'm in the mood. I have a few playlists that I have on my old Spotify account that I use, but yeah, I definitely have a huge variation of music that I listen to. I'm going to show you guys while I'm talking some of my favorite songs of all time, and I sorted them by the name of the artist so you guys can stop and see if your favorite song made the list or not. But like I said, I have a huge variation. I'll listen to Arizona, I'll listen to Post Malone, I'll listen to some Justin Bieber, I'll listen to some Rihanna, some Beyonce, some Quinn XCII. You know what I mean, guys? So there's a lot to right there. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you so much for love support. Cannot thank you all enough. I have school starting up next Thursday. So yeah, it's senior year, so like, you know, going regular season LeBron coasting this thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Expect a lot of content on the way, guys. I'm doing a SeatGeek ad for football in a little bit. I will be doing a fall preview for this channel in a little bit, so expect a lot of things coming up on the way, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Cannot thank you enough. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you so much for the support. If you're outside this thing, y'all, big things on the way. 2K coming on 11 days of prelude. I'm out this thing, y'all. Peace.